A new sniper rifle was released with the Apocalypse DLC, and it is an absolute beast. In this video I'm going to go through the statistics comparing the Ross Mark III to previous favourites and work out whether it is the new king of the Scout class. With the relatively recent time to kill changes that we have seen introduced with the Turning Tide DLC, Scout rifles didn't receive much change at all. That being said, the Scout class was already incredibly powerful, and the change has certainly brought other classes into line with the snipers. However, DICE found it necessary to introduce a sniper that challenges for best in class. Of course we had the Springfield, but I'm talking about the Ross Mark III. The Ross Mark III arrived with the Apocalypse DLC and is a fairly easy to unlock weapon. Of course you need to have the DLC, and in addition to that get 50 kills as a Scout player. You should be able to do this in 1 or 2 rounds, so as unlocking weapons go, it is very simple. The weapon has a straight pull bolt, so you do not have to unzoom when firing successive rounds. This is similar to the Gewehr M95. You get 5 rounds in total, and essentially the Ross is a mixture of both the M95 and the SMLE Mark III. It's an incredibly smooth and consistent rifle, and offers a decent alternative to the overpowered and overused SMLE. Let's compare the Ross to the most used sniper rifle in the Scout class, the SMLE Marksman. Starting with the amount of damage the weapons can do over distance, you can see that the SMLE will deal 80 damage up to 20 meters and then reaches a sweet spot range between 40 and 75 meters. Most people view the SMLE sweet spot to be the best in the game. And I would have to agree, as this is where most of the engagements will take place, essentially giving you a one-shot kill with a chest shot. The Ross rifle has exactly the same damage over distance as the SMLE, and that's pretty crazy. Here is where the weapons are a little different though. At close range, assuming you don't hit a headshot, the Ross rifle is a better sniper in terms of time to kill. You can hit your shot and then hit your follow-up shot far quicker than you can with the SMLE. This is pretty sweet and has a similar feeling to the Gewehr M95, a weapon that I really enjoy using. The Ross has a fire rate of 62 RPM compared to the SMLE's RPM of 52. As you can tell, that's 10 rounds per minute faster, so you're going to be getting those 2 rounds off for your 2-shot kill in a faster time than with the SMLE. It might not seem like a big deal, but if you're the type of guy to go for those chest shots on a moving target, you're going to be far better off with the Ross rifle than the SMLE. Both have the same sweet spot, so if you're getting a sweet spot one-shot kill with the SMLE, you're getting it with that Ross rifle too. If you're hitting a headshot, of course, it's a one-shot kill. And close range, if you're wanting to switch out to your secondary, it's the same between the 2 weapons. When it comes to magazine size, the SMLE wins with that 10-round mag. That is what makes the SMLE so damn good in the Scout class. Not only do you get a really nice sweet spot range, you also get 10 rounds, meaning you can cause absolute devastation to the enemy team if you have positioned yourself in the correct place. The Ross also benefits from that sweet spot, but you have to deal with only 5 rounds before a reload. I don't feel as if this is much of a handicap, as essentially you will have swapped 5 rounds for the ability to remain zoomed in when firing continuous shots and the ability to fire faster. The muzzle velocity of the Ross is the same as the SMLE at 740 meters per second. That is really quite fast, considering the other straight pull sniper, the M95, only has a muzzle velocity of 620 meters per second. Overall, I would say that the SMLE is still as effective as it ever was. The Gewehr M95 is the most skillful weapon out there in my opinion, as you can't really rely on a sweet spot but can deal significant damage if you hit headshots, as the fire rate is higher than both the Ross and the SMLE. The Ross is a nice balance of the 2 weapons. It requires slightly more skill than the SMLE as you get less rounds, but is far more forgiving as you can remain zoomed in. It is certainly a weapon that you should unlock and use. With a sidearm, I'd recommend using the new Mark VI revolver or another revolver. They are really good for follow-up shots, and although I'm a big fan of the Obrez since the update, it seems as if I can't get more than a 90 hit, which means I'm going to be using revolvers in general across all classes. It's far too inconsistent for my liking, and that's why I've changed out to those revolvers. And I find the revolvers are also better when I'm taking on an enemy that's on full health, because I can get those 2 chest shots away faster than 2 Obrez shots. The spot flare is a must for all Scout players, and since the patch I've started using tripwire mines as well. They yield a high amount of kills now as the update has increased their damage significantly. The last streak you saw from Brusilov Keep was provided by my mate Andy. If you want to join us when we play BF1, feel free to jump on my Discord and say hello, the link for which is in the description. Jump on and say hello and join us for the next one. So what else would I recommend with the Ross? Should you change your playstyle up, or should you continue using the same playstyle you did with the SMLE? Well, I feel as if the Ross is a slightly more aggressive sniper, as it is a faster firing weapon than the SMLE. I use it in the same way that I use the Gewehr. I go for headshots, but I get the added bonus of getting the odd sweet spot kill. I feel as if this is really beneficial on some of the new Apocalypse maps, such as the Somme and Caporetto, where these longer range fights are often really good if you have a sweet spot range of 70 meters around there, or slightly less. The Ross is also a new gun, which means everyone's trying to use it because, of course, new stuff is nice. The DLC weapons often get unlocked immediately and used by everybody, and then they start to die off. But in a few months, I'm pretty certain we'll be able to tell if the Ross is the new favourite in the class. It's already very popular. The SMLE is still the king, but I'm sure the Ross could even overtake the SMLE Marksman as best in class. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy using this gun. I, for one, think it's probably the best in class. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next video.